Hi, Sean Kelly here, giving you your San Diego market review. Well, we're going to check in on what was happening in May. So that's about 6 weeks from right today. But again, it's a good snapshot of where we're trending this year. Overall, what we've seen is, again, prices were at a low point in November, December, and January. And then we've seen through the spring sales season and going into summer, prices rising. So if we take a look at median sales price right now, which again is the 50% mark, half the houses over that and half the houses under that. Single family houses are at $955 and condos are at $640. And again, that is up from the last 2 or 3, 4 months, but it is on par with where prices were a year ago. Average sales prices are for single family house at $1,326,000, and then for a condo up to $763,000. The other trend that we're seeing also is that the percentage of actual sales price to listing price is now at over 100%. It's at 101%. So what that means is the house gets listed at, say, $1 million, it's selling for over that, or roughly $1,010,000. Now, that may not sound like a lot, but it's actually up significantly from where it was 4 or 5 months ago, and that was close to 96%. So that same $1 million house basically was selling for $960,000. What that's an indication of, again, is just a hot market. Now, housing markets are seasonal. So typically the strongest time of year for sales and pricing is in the spring and early summer. So we're right now in that hot market. Now, traditionally what you'll see is as we go through the holidays and getting in through when people are going back to school in September, and then you've got the holidays going into Thanksgiving and Christmas, and then into January, the market cools down. So you see basically a little fewer listings, fewer sales, and then also price compression. So if you're out there thinking about buying, again, we're right now in the hot time. But if you're thinking about maybe getting a little bit of a deal, maybe plan this late summer and into fall and into winter to really get in there and start looking. Now, you may say, what's going on with inventory and where are we there? Well, right now, the inventory of homes are down to 3,000 units of both combined single family and condos. And that's down from where it was, again, 4 or 5 months ago, and significantly down from where it was, say, 6, 7 years ago. 6, 7 years ago, San Diego County had 12,000 units for sale. And then 3 or 4 years ago, we had 5,500 on average. And now we're in that 3,000 range. So you see there's a compression going on the amount of listings out there. Now that's twofold. Number one, probably most importantly, is people that currently own houses have really low interest rates and they're just not interested in selling. The second thing is it's really, there's just not a lot of inventory. So it's self-perpetuating. So people, again, thinking about possibly moving or kind of holding off. Let's dig into that just a little bit more. If we look at what's happening with inventory of new listings, so if we look at new listings each month, again, if we look at that period where the market was really stable back 5, 6, 7 years ago, on average about 5,500 new houses would come on the market. If we look over the last, say, 3 years ago, there's about 4,000, and then right now, over the last 2 or 3 months, it's about 2,500 new listings coming on per month. So you can see there's just fewer houses being brought on. Now, the big thing though is days in market. So if we look at days in market, what we saw was that properties usually stayed on the market for 2 months 6, 7 years ago. And then over 3 years ago, it dropped down to 1.5, and now we're at 1 month on the market. So again, that's just an indication of the fact that, it's pretty active out there, and if a property is well priced, it's gonna sell. And then closed sales this month, if we look over from May to May, we're actually at 4,000 units. 4,000 units were sold in May of this year. Now you might say, Sean, you just said to me that 2,500 houses just came on the market in May. So if I do the quick math on that, it's telling me that the inventory is quickly getting scooped up. That probably is not a good thing going long term here, because again, it's just going to put more pressure on the market, more pressure on prices. What we hope is that we see this relief valve coming through the end of summer and going into fall, where we see based naturally just fewer houses are sold. Hopefully we still get 2,500 to 3,000 new houses coming on the market, but the number of sales actually decreased too. So we can get some buildup in inventory and take some pressure off the market. Again, interest rates are still high, and that's keeping a lid on things. But again, if we see interest rates dive down, which we could see the end of next year, that's just going to pour gasoline on an already hot market. So for right now, it's a lot of I would say strong market fundamentals if you're trying to sell, and I'd say if you're trying to buy, again, it's a pretty tough market out there. But we'll keep you informed of what's happening. Hope this is helpful to you. Talk soon.